Hello and welcome to The Lawless Way, a series of talks based on the book called The Lawless Way by Philip J. Bradbury, an amazing author who is me. So modest. Anyway, normally these talks start with some sort of theme in mind, and today there isn't. I have no idea what I'm going to talk about. There is just something. I can only describe it as God's hand on my back, just pushing me forward gently to do this. And from the void, from the emptiness, something will turn up. Because whenever we try to create something, we always start with what we had and then add to it, and then or take away from it and change it and add to what was. But when we are wanting something totally new and different, we need to undo all that and stand in the space of emptiness, in the void, of not knowing, of being okay with the mystery. Because for example, when we try and change the government, we're starting with what is, and because we want to change it, obviously we're not happy with it, so we try and change it, and we fiddle with the old. And we move it here, and we chip a little bit off here, and we add a bit here, and we make it more complicated there, and we fiddle with what is. And it's like we have this massive, massive Lego creation, and some of them are just immense. So imagine we have a Lego creation, whatever it is. It might be a car or a boat or a house or a town, something made of thousands of little bricks, all stuck together in different colors and shapes and sizes. And we want to change it. So we take a brick off here, and we take a brick off there, and we put another one over there, and we put one over there, and we change it around. And we leave the room, and our partner comes in and says, "That's a lovely boat. What have you been doing?" And for them, it looks the same. We know we've done some fiddling. We can spend hours fiddling. But generally, overall, the 99% of let's say it's a boat we've made, the boat looks the same to anyone else. We know we've done something. But the difficulty is that we think that activity is the same as action, is the same as, let's say, progress. Just because we're doing something, just because we're analyzing and pulling something to pieces and taking something away and adding something and playing, it's still actually the same. And it's the same whether it's a Lego boat, whether it's our society, whether it's our government, whether it's our life right here. When we take what is or what has been in the past and try and change it, we're going to have just more of the past, actually. So the only way to create a new future, to create a future that's better than the current one, is to step out of the current one and start something new from the emptiness. Because we have been fighting governments and bureaucracy and society and people, all of these naughty people out there, these Dr. Fauci's and whatever it is, viruses and vaccines and environmental abuses and all that. We have been fighting all those. And we will continue fighting them if we continue fighting. Because fighting never achieves anything. In fact, anything we fight, we're going to lose. Because what we're actually fighting, and this is the Course in Miracles tells us that whatever we fight, or whenever we fight, we will lose. Because anything we fight is the negative. And the negative is simply nothing. The negative does not exist. Like a dark room that's just dark. The moment you walk in and turn the light on, it's instantly light. Darkness doesn't slowly go out of the room as if it's a thing that's slinking out. Darkness just gone. So we can't walk into a light room and bring darkness in, because darkness does not exist. Darkness is a no thing. Darkness is the lack of light. And so any kind of darkness that we wish to fight, we will always lose, as the Course of Miracles says. Because when we're fighting nothing, we will lose. So instead of fighting, instead of pushing from what was, I kind of like this bit of my life, but not that bit, I want to change that bit, or whatever it is, the society, my life, my house, my car, whatever, instead of fighting it, analysing it, and I was at a workshop with Ross Quinn, and he said analysing is analysing, i.e. shitty thinking. Instead of analysing what was and saying this was bad and this was terrible and these people are naughty and these people are trying to get us and these, it's gone. In this moment, there is only now. There is only here and now. There is no past. There is no future. And I know this sounds, new agey, whiffly waffly, woo-woo stuff, but it is real. You see, when we have a worry, we have a concern, we have a grievance, as A Course of Miracles would call it, if we have a grievance, that grievance is always about the past. I should have done this. They should have done this. This should not have happened. This was whatever. Something was not right. We had an expectation. Our glasses would not fall off. We had an expectation and it was not met. And that is where all anger and depression comes from. We set up an expectation. My life should be like this. People should be like that. The world should be like this. And surprise, they're not. Nothing meets our expectations. Because we have sat in the past and gone, well, it didn't work out. Whereas when we sit right here, in now, and here, in this place, when there is only now, and it's not easy. Let's not pretend this is easy, but it's as we practice it. So the Course of Miracles talks about its own process, and it says it is both easy and it's difficult. So the Course of Miracles is a lifestyle. It's not a religion. It's a lifestyle psychology course, basically, on finding peace in every moment. And what it says is that its process is both easy and difficult. The easy part is simply being without expectation, if you like, being okay with what is. It talks about forgiveness. It says that we must forgive ourselves. And in forgiving ourselves, we can then forgive the world, circumstances, people, events. We start with ourselves, forgiving ourselves for being who we are. We are not guilty. We are not wrong. We are not deficient. We are. We're not anything. We just are. Here we are, in this moment. So that's the easy thing. In a moment, we can forgive ourselves. We can step into now and just be here. Just be without expectation. It's raining. It's sunny. I have a roof. I'm in this room. It's got white walls. Who cares whether they're green, white, or yellow? Who cares? I'm just here. That's the easy bit. The hard bit, as the Course of Miracles says, is doing it in every moment. So I can find a peaceful moment in my life when there's no disturbance going on. That we can all find those sometimes. Even if at work it's really stressful, I can escape to the toilet and sit there for 2 minutes and go, oh, it's okay. But to do it in every moment is very, very difficult. Let's not pretend that. It is difficult. However, like tying our shoelaces, driving our car, using an ATM, practice, we get better. And in the end, it just becomes automatic. So we don't even think about tying our shoelaces. we don't even think about driving the car. We just get in and there we are, around the corner, up and we're all over the place, doing getting our car where we want it to go, without even thinking about changing gears and accelerating and indicators and the whole host of things and looking in the rear vision mirror. We just do it without thinking now. But it wasn't always easy. There were so many things to think about when we were learning. We had to try and remember all these different, you know, foot brakes and hand brakes and accelerators and clutches and all sorts of things. And now they don't exist. Our body's on automatic. And the same with being in presence. We just be there. And we just be there. And we just be there. And the Course of Miracles tells us the reason it's so difficult is that we believe we do not deserve the peace that comes from being present, from being in presence. There is this existential guilt, if you like, that every human being has. We constantly feel like someone's watching. Like, what have I done wrong today? What have I done wrong here? And I remember probably 9 years ago, I was lecturing at a university in Oxford, and my Iranian supervisor came up to me. I was just going into class, a 2-hour lecture, and Ashid came up to me and he said to me in his beautiful, soft Iranian accent, "Philip, could you come and see me in my office after this?" Oh, what did I do? I immediately went into guilt, because when someone says, "Come and see me in my office," what do you think? What does anyone think? Come and see me in my room. Come and whatever. And I had 2 hours of stewing while I'm trying to be present to my students for 2 hours. These were all postgraduate students, and it was a challenge. Just the subject is they are, they're very intelligent and engaging, wonderful students. Are just amazing Indians, Pakistanis, Bangladeshis, and we always had fun. But in the back of my mind, there was this, "Come and see me in my office afterwards." So I went and saw him afterwards. And at the time, I was working part-time. And he sat me down, and I'm quivering. He said, "Would you like a coffee?" And I said, "No, what is it? I wanted to know right now. Get this over with." And he said, "Look, Philip, we've had such good response to your classes. The students absolutely love you. Can you do another 2 days a week?" And that we all carry that guilt. And yet God wants to, or the universe, or whatever we call that which is larger than us, it wants to give us the rewards. But we hold on to this existential guilt. And so we think, "Oh, I don't deserve that," or "It's going to get me," or "What have I done wrong?" There's this constant little, or big, sometimes bigger than it needs to be, this constant voice of, just be careful. Someone's watching. Am I doing this right? And so this constant existential guilt that does not go away. So rather than trying to extinguish it, let's just accept I have guilt. It's part of me. It's just who I am. Just like I've got a nose and arms and legs and knees, I've also got guilt. And when I can accept that it's just sitting there and it can do what it likes, it can, whatever, talk. And when it shuts up, I can then stop. Or I can just say, "Thank you. I'm now going into presence. I'm going into this moment here and now." And strangely, when we do that, that chatter, that talk, that guilt, existential guilt, kind of just goes quiet. But we can't do this generally, to start with, constantly, because the guilt will step in and it will tell us we don't deserve the peace that comes from being in presence. And so what happens? Oh, I had set up a schedule of meditating morning and evening, 20 minutes. I forgot today, and I forgot tomorrow, and No, we did not forget. We believe that we don't deserve the peace that comes from that. And this is so subconscious. It's just so buried so deep. We don't see it as an undeserving. We just think we forgot. And then what do we do when we forget? Oh, we beat ourselves up. What a naughty boy. I should have done this yesterday. Again, we're back into exactly what our guilt wants us to do, is beat ourselves up. So I forgot yesterday. I did not do it. Today I am. I am in presence. And that presence brings us to the only moment that there is, the only, if you like, physical place that there is. And there is no need to analyze anything from the past. There is no need to explain why and how. We are here. There's no need to analyze myself, my good bits, my bad bits, my whatever, my every other bit. This is the moment. And from the emptiness, from the no otherness of this moment, from this, and it's not a beautiful moment, it's not a terrible moment, it's not a good or bad or simple or complicated, it's not even it's just a moment with emptiness, the void, the mystery, the enjoyment of not knowing. And from this empty moment, we can then, without ourselves making up a story, with the emptiness surrounding us, being us, we can then be open to a new way of being. And of course, we all aspire to love, whatever that is. We could all aspire to peace and joy and silliness, connection, all of those. We all are aspiring to that. We cannot aspire to those greater things when we have the word of guilt. You don't deserve this, you did this wrong. Yeah. We cannot aspire to any kind of freedom, peace, joy, happiness, connection, love, whatever, while that guilt's chattering away. You might call it the voice of ego, the monkey mind, whatever it is. Just let us accept that it's going to be there. It's in every waking or probably sleeping moment too. It is just there. And allow it. Thank you. Goodbye. And in this moment without it, with simply emptiness, openness, that is the place then we can start becoming a different being, a different essence, a different livingness. And yes, I may not deserve it. I may forget. I may think I don't deserve it. But there is no such thing as deserving. There is simply choosing. I don't deserve a new pair of shoes. I just go and buy them. I don't deserve a coffee. Just go and buy it. I don't think, ooh, am I good enough to have a coffee? I just go and buy a coffee because I want it. So the same with freedom, the same with joy, the same with peace, the same with love, the same with connection, community, fulfillment. I don't deserve them. I don't not deserve them. I simply aspire and I simply choose them. And in this moment of emptiness, they are there to be chosen. So I invite you today, from the emptiness with which I started this talk, had no idea where I was going. Let us do the same with each of our moments. Perhaps not while we're operating heavy machinery, I don't know. When we can, in moments of stillness and emptiness, Let us stay there, here, now, and just experience what is. Just be with what is. So that is our homework, because I will be doing it too, and I will be forgetting, and I will remember. Let us just play with the idea of being in this moment and not make anything happen, not ask for freedom or ask for peace or ask for whatever. Just be there and see what comes in. Because what comes in without our contrivance will be greater than what we can come up with. Be empty. Be the void and enjoy the mystery. So thank you for listening, and bless you and all who sail in her. Bye.